by sharing his knowledge what is exactly needed in an hospitalization. The TPA might have a lot of roles. The role of third-party administrator is very, very important. He would also help in improvising the quality of services. Good morning and welcome to session 2 in unit 5 in Principles and Practice of General Insurance, where we are going to speak about a very important concept called as the claims form investigation and assessment from the third-party administrator. So let's just go and try to understand who is a third-party administrator. A third-party administrator is a body that processes insurance claims admissible under the Mediclaim policy. Now, in general, these administrators are independent but can also act as entity belonging to the insurers. These bodies are licensed by the regulatory, that is by IRDAI, the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. Now, typically, when I talk about a third-party administrator, they could be somebody like your Star Health Insurance or companies who are like third-party people who come and they will assess the factor in terms of that cashless claim benefits and things, who will actually look into the insurance policy that is very much under the cover. What are you actually eligible? So they will act as the person who will try to give you the insurance coverage. They might be linked up with the insurance company, but then they will act as independent person who will assess what you are eligible under the claim. Now, the next thing is that the relevance of that third-party administrator. They will take care of hospital bills, as I have told you, and the other expenses. So when you start looking into Star Health Insurance or an ICICI Lombard, or when you look into Apollo Munich, all these people will have this third-party administrating role where they will initially take care of your hospital bills and expenses in case of any emergency. While you are distressed with the illness of the family member or your friend, they will just help you to take care of them. So that role is very much handled by the TPA. What do I mean by saying here is that now the third-party administrator is actually a friend in disguise who will come and take care of the immediate bills and all the kind of expenses so that you are not overburdened in that situation where you are already having your family member or your friend on the hospital bed. Followed by every insurance company will definitely appoint a third-party administrator for your service. You don't have to pay them directly through the administrator. A TPA can either approve a cashless claim and reimburse later, or it can do it, or in no case of complaint or query, the health policy holder will just directly get connected to the TPA. Now, what happens here is that most of the companies will definitely have a third-party administrator who will come forward and help you to take care of the cashless card benefit and take care of all the expenses. And in this case also, he will actually try to tell you if I'm not able to go for the direct payment or situation there, they will help you to reimburse it later. That is quite possible. Or in terms, they can make you directly connect to the insurance company itself, to the policy holder, so that the policy holder will get all the benefits back. Now, why this factor is coming in the modern days is that if you start understanding the current ongoing health scenario in India and across the world, many people have started getting into all kinds of health issues because of stress, because of depression, fear, anxiety, and so many reasons. At that moment, people tend to forget how to cover themselves in terms of a health insurance. So it is always advisable to the people that when you are in a normal, hale and healthy condition, please do apply for a cashless card and keep that benefits with you, so that in case if something untoward happens to you, you can always go further and claim that insurance. So that is why this becomes very, very important for all of us. This is quite interesting for all of us to understand that in case of emergency, in case of exigency, this is always there, and this will help you to cover up in terms of your insurance factor. Sometimes you might also feel that I'm not able to manage a cash at that point of time. I don't have so much of money. What should I do? Just you can take this third-party administrator into confidence, and they will help you to settle the bills at that moment itself. Followed by, for the insurer, when we talk about the relevance, for an insurer, the connection will always between them and the insurer only. So we can definitely look into the TPA from a relevance standpoint by sharing the immense knowledge about healthcare services, improvise the quality of services, manage and investigate the claims, and observe the cashless and reimbursement TAT, which means turn around time. So when I use this word TAT, it stands for turn around time. So this is very, very important. Why? Because when I talk about this, TPA, the third party administrator, will definitely go further in terms of helping us out by sharing his knowledge, what is exactly needed in an hospitalization, because we do not know, we do not visit hospital on a regular basis. So when an emergency suddenly pops up in your life, turns up in your life, you do not know, you are completely left clueless how to help yourself. So in that case, definitely a third party administrator can be of an immense benefit for you, because he will come forward and tell you what exactly needs to be done at that point in order to help out in the situation and make things better for you. Now, he would also help in improvising the quality of services, which is very, very important. He can also see that he can manage and investigate the claims, which is also true. Why? Because you will be able to see that there are certain factors where you can manage, you can see that factors, you can improvise it better altogether, followed by observing the cashless and the reimbursement turnaround time. This turnaround time is very, very important, which means to say that the moment you get the claim, what is the time taken by the company to process and come back? The turnaround time, which means the time taken in terms of processing and getting things back to the consumer. So that is why I would say that all these kind of work where the third party relevance is very, very important. The more the third party relevance comes into picture, then automatically we will be able to get our claims done in an easier manner. Followed by, the TPA will play a very, very vital role in processing health insurance today. Why? Because in the practical world of insurance and jobs, the TPA might have a lot of role, especially in issuing the health cards to the insurer for every policy that is being issued to the policy holder. Validation process is carried, and you need to give an insurance card to the policy holder. You need to tell him very, very clearly what is the benefit of the health card in case when you want to protect your family from any health issue. The policy should let know you clearly what is the situation under which you will be able to cover yourself, what are all the factors the policy covers, and how we can help you in the policy claiming. All those factors can be done in by the third party administrator. So the role of third party administrator is very, very important when it comes to the insurance services. And at the same time, admission to the hospital, insured can produce this card. Automatically, the third party administrator will swing into action, make you understand what are the necessary documents, the bills that has to be processed, including your medical bills, the hospitalization charges, the doctor charges. All these things will be taken care by the third party administrator, and automatically you will be able to get the claims done at a faster rate. Now, the smooth claim process, the TPA again comes, we can expedite the claim, he can it will be intimated to the insurer as fast as possible. Their job is to check all the documents and submit it in favor of the claim. Now, it can ask for many information so as to cross-verify, find out whatever you have said is true. Many times we are not going to lie, or we are not going to play around with our own life, but just for the sake of verification and the cashless benefit to reach us, the TPAs will take their time in terms of verifying the documents again and again and get as much of information possible so that the reimbursement is done on time. Followed by, whichever be the case, the TPA will check for the liable, whether they are liable for that particular claim, whether it is good enough, how we can take up the claim, and all these procedures will be looked in by the TPA. With this, I come to the end of this particular session. I hope and believe that this session was of a great help and resource to you. In the upcoming sessions, we shall be learning more about the assessment, evaluations, and the ongoing procedures in the general insurance as well as in the non-life insurance sectors, which is helping the modern insurance world to becoming the uprising or the sunrise sector altogether. Until then, stay tuned, stay blessed, and stay enlightened forever. Thank you once again for joining me today on this wonderful session.